So, just to wrap up everything, you see how the manipulation, how bad and stupid it gets. Like this, the mental battle of this like 25-year-old diver to try to create these ways of making me acceptive of like this manipulation that they force me to have. And then with me, just to finish up everything here, these people are foul life. They torture children. I bring that up a lot because what they love to do is bring up what me as a 13, 14-year-old kid did. And matter of fact, yesterday I did this thing when I was just a middle schooler, 13, 14. There's something impulsive, an act of a child. Let me repeat that, an act of a child. Of a child. If 13, 14 is not a child, okay, that's a problem. 13, 14-year-old me, a child, doing some dumb impulsive act. I'm bringing that up because I know what they try to present themselves as. They act like they're avenging. You pay, we're gonna punish you for what you did when you were a kid. This impulsive. They have been trying to exaggerate. But not only they've been trying to exaggerate, they've been trying to create a pattern. There's the prior year, they talk about me when I'm like just turned 13 years old. And talk about something that just changed into like, oh, you fondled her, you did this. If you go to the story about Sarah, you'll see. They have created and they try to make you think that, oh, this matter of fact, what you experiencing today, we're just mapping your brain to you as a kid. There are something there because remember when you were a kid, there's something because you're in my brain doing these things that you do to others. And you're using this act of a child, matter of fact, even manufacturing other to try to make yourself to try to make me acceptive of these manipulations that you're renowned to do to people, that you clearly hear there's a pattern of how they do these pedophilia things, and try to use me as a child and even create some things of me as a child to try to make me acceptive. Like, now we're doing, these bottom fears have been humiliated by the reality. You know, the entities that run this program clearly are connected to the Department of Defense. I love to put that in their faces. Now, before I go through that, let me just show you what they're capable of doing to children in this program. The evilness that we're talking about here is an evilness that impacts children too. I'm here to make sure that this lowlife playing this Avengers and Punisher knows that I know what they do to children.
You guys come get me. It's brutally painful. I have a house, 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms.
This is a target individual just talking about her life now. But listen to what they do to children.
Miss Catherine Nestor.
My name is Catherine Nestor and I'm from Pennsylvania. This commission has spoken of a long history of abuse of the human research subject. Although no one mentioned MKUltra today, President Clinton recently apologized for this. My young child and I have been used as non-consensual test subjects. We have been subjected to COINTELPRO-like stalking, remote neural monitoring, and electromagnetic torture, resulting in psychological and physical damage. And
you know how they try to counter that? It's like, you see, she said monitoring. So that means my brain is not being manipulated.
won't go into the details of that because I have 4 pages written in here that is very similar to Connie's testimony. Please do not wait 70 years to investigate this. I ask Dr. Amy Gutman to begin today.
I am currently a speech-language pathologist working in private practice with young children. I have a 7-year-old client who has autism, and she was the most significantly affected of all of my clients. I eventually had to tell this client to go to another clinic, and they used her to threaten the most torture in me as well as their most extreme forms of torture. For several months, she would cry and scream horribly during our therapy sessions despite having a great day at school. This was highly unusual behavior for her, as she usually behaved very well during her therapy session. Her gasping for air a few times in the same way that I do when I am being more severely suffocated. The suffocation had been in a mild state for a while up until this point. Many of their torture methods are cyclical in severity. Right after I saw this child being suffocated, then I began to experience very extreme suffocation all day, every day, for about 2 months straight, and that's also when they made it worse when I eat. Then I also work with a 4-year-old little girl with Down syndrome, as well as her 5-year-old sister who also has Down syndrome. I observed both of these girls suddenly grabbing their genitals in pain and verbalizing, "ow." I observed this at least on 1 or 2 occasions for each of them.
With this technology, they can hit your body and your organs and your mind, and using these energetic weapons. They're using children as test subjects, and they harm them in foul ways, even sexual torturing them. Can you imagine being involved in this and then try to act like you're these avengers and punishers? Trash us. And the testimonial goes as even infants. And when I mean infants, I mean like 3-week-old babies being harmed to the point where they think the babies are about to die, but it's just them playing with this technology on and using this technology on this child, where she gets so many rashes that they think this baby is about to die, but the truth is they're just playing with your immune system or something like that, or some kind of organs that create that. Then she gets better again. That's the things they do. They're low lives. And when they try to say, "now we mapped it, there's something there," listen to the entities doing these things to us.
We must.
Erica, there is not.
This
bill, 18 out of almost 8, specifically by using the Department of Defense. Those who are working in the Department of Defense, clearly it appears to be thousands of individuals in the Department of Defense, are finding ways around this, specifically by using the Department of Defense IP addresses, and also apparently peer-to-peer sharing within the department's network. So this study that was done on this issue, and it is pretty horrifying, Manila, to consider this. It shows that the Department of Defense ranked 19th out of almost 3,000 networks in terms of peer-to-peer sharing of child pornography. That is absolutely incredible. This bill attempts to essentially say, look, we're not doing enough to stop it from coming in, but we're also not doing enough in the Department of Defense to go after those individuals who are being recognized as the ones who are perpetrating this.
So Congresswoman Abigail Spanberger is the co-author to this bill. She said this, quote, "The notion that the Department of Defense's network and Pentagon-issued computers may be used to view, create, or circulate such horrifying images is a shameful disgrace and one we must fight head-on." Now, the fact that the Pentagon workers, be they civil or military or otherwise, already submit to a gauntlet of daily scrutiny just going in and out of work, is it fair then to the tens of thousands who are completely innocent to further allow that much more government intrusion into their digital devices or the things that they're dealing with on their computers?
Well, remember that what's being talked about here is not an intrusion into someone's personal device or even their home. This is about saying Department of Defense computers are being misused to share, to spread, to access child pornography. And when you step into an office,
It's a shameful disgrace, and one we must fight head-on, Spanberger said in a statement. According to Child Pornography Watchdog Internet Crimes Against Children Child Online Protective Services, the Defense Department network consistently ranks in the top tier of Internet service providers for trafficking child pornography.
The entities in charge, developing, sponsoring, running this program have clear issue with pedophilia. The tactics, this mind tormenting tactics, this cognitive weaponizing of this technology that can alter your brain, this
often see highly
my guess that this person developed delusional disorder. This is a paranoid schizophrenia. But first of all, nobody develops paranoid schizophrenia in the 50s, in their 50s. This is, if you haven't developed it by 30, it's not. Then this technology exists. These nefarious programs exist. And it's hard to imagine for a person that why would he do something like this? But if you think about the new type of warfare,
cognitive warfare.
Exactly, it's a cognitive warfare. You don't have to kill people that you are fighting against. You can just degrade their brain. You can
you alter their minds.
Yeah, alter their minds,
personalities.
And it's like Chinese torture. I mean, okay, so
this same entities coming out with this technology and creating this technology and these programs to develop this weapon system have issue with child porn and pedophilia, and they're the one altering your brain this way and then try to gaslight you when they do these things that they're known to do to others like this.
Throughout the world, most
people. This involves the projection of voices, noises, and music, direct sections in the first.
It is dramatic. It's somebody trying to end my life. It's somebody trying to end who I am as a person. It's somebody trying to take over my mind. But he thoughts of it. Like, this disgusting thing. You saw where I was going with that first word. Disgusting things that I didn't want to talk about because it makes me sick. I don't even like those words in my mind. But it is what it is. So I have no choice now but to acknowledge that there are people in my surroundings or whatever they're doing. I don't know how they do it. I don't care. I don't know if it's through my parents. I don't know. I don't care.
This is a common breakdown tactic of belief systems and the human will. In no-touch torture, the techniques are more psychologically specialized for each target. Most common examples include homosexual targets that are forced with voices that are derogatory to their lifestyle and similar mental images. Almost all targets are forced to view child pornography in their minds, and vice versa.
Torture programs, like it's based on sex and trauma. So they're gonna traumatize you, they're gonna use your libido to get back at you, and
this technology can be used to sexually manipulate the target. It can make the target feel sexual arousal.
What is referred to as malodorance. This is the alteration of the smell sensation so that I am often made to smell various things, including smoke, burning, dirty diaper, or baby powder, which they sometimes combine with the pedophilia type of torture, including the...
This low life manipulate your brain in this fashion, try to make sense of it, and try to make you understand, find this rational. The way it's like, no, we're just putting the brain back to you when you're, this is retardation, when they're renowned for doing this. It's a blessing to know that the entities that run this program are filled with pedophiles, and they're here trying to make you acceptive of the way they manipulate your brain. It's great. It's amazing to know. And then they use these losers of human being, trash ass, weak low life, where any day, at any point, anything can come to them. Anything. I'm talking about, those are the nobodies of this earth. It's surreal how fragile these people are. For me, I'm just like shocked. I was like, these people are just so easily, anything can happen. You know, when you look at people, it's like, oh, this person, nothing can ever happen to this person. You know, like when you look at like a Putin or like, you know, this powerful beings, like, oh my gosh, they've done all this and it's still here. Like somebody like that. No, we're talking about some nothingness. What, like, and nothing can just destroy it. But the evil they're in, oh, some of the nastiest things you can imagine. Torturing children, you heard that. They're involved in that. They caused mass shooting. I can bring that up real quick. If you want to have an idea of how foul this low life are, listen to this testimony of this woman before I end this video. This just shows how this low life are as they try to manipulate the brain and create these storylines. And this is an old testimonial. There's so many women testifying, but I like hers because
that's from the evils. Just like I did when I was going through it in the beginning, I had no idea what it was. To other people that is going through this, or is newly going through it and don't understand it, just like I did when I was going through it in the beginning, I had no idea what it was. The mind games, they're getting hit with electromagnetic currents, and the hatefulness and the gang stalking. These are people that I'm convinced that are not Christians. I don't understand it, probably never will. It's the most hateful, heinous crime that's being ignored. I think that there needs to be light shed on it. There are some protests coming up in October. I would like to see everybody that's a targeted individual to show, because we have a voice and it needs to be heard. There's a lot of scare tactics that's going to keep you from going. I've been told if I speak out, they will kill my son, or they will kill me. That's from the enemy, that's from the evil, that's from evil, and they're not going to stop me. So, I want to get up and do something about it, be a voice, and not have another person drive to suicide over this whole thing. This is very evil. And I think in the
this trash are low life and they involved in this. Do not see them less than just the trash that were capable to do that to women and children. I see them truly for what they're part of, not their fantasized reality. To all my target individuals, stay strong.